We just witnessed one of the most insane best on best hockey games of all time. This Canada-US game set records. One watching, looking at this game, looking at the Boston Bruins players, this is something that fans are going to be looking forward to for years. I'm going to be breaking down this game as well as what the Boston Bruins players had done over these two games yesterday in this video. Before we get into it, though, we know that 70% of you guys watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. If you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news, as well as while the Four Nations Cup is going on, all of your news there regarding the Boston Bruins players and just the tournament in general, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button, join me here on the channel. We're covering everything Boston Bruins, and in this case, Four Nations face-off, but we're very close to 6K. If we can hit that before the trade deadline, that would be incredible. Your sport's been absolutely incredible lately, and I appreciate everybody watching this video right now. Let's start this one off, though, very, very quickly here with some stats. Going back to these games, looking at some of these players, and mainly, in this case, the Boston Bruins one. So, of course, you've seen this here. We'll get to that in a moment. But when we're looking at this, the Charlie McAvoy stats in this game, the way he played, not just his stats, the way that he set the tone in this game early on with the 3 fights starting out in the first 9 seconds, then coming here and laying body after body after body on Connor McDavid, Sidney Crosby, the top Canada players, which hurt my soul watching that, but a Boston Bruins player, that's where it becomes semi-respectable in this case. But when we're looking at Charlie McAvoy, what a game he had. Unfortunately, he was -1 in the game, but, no defenseman would have stopped that goal from Connor McDavid in that case. That was just a Connor McDavid goal, and that was that. But setting the tone in this game was a serious kind of situation that the teams had to do. You're kind of splitting the fights, win after win after win from each side. Then you go and really have a game of hockey, and one of the best that we've seen in quite some time. That first period was absolutely insane, but Charlie McAvoy, another near on 20-minute on ice game, and he played fantastic here for the U.S. in this game. Brad Marchand, not so much. Only 8 minutes time on ice. They were really rocking the top 3 lines for this Canada team. Really, some would even say the top 2. And, the Tampa Bay Lightning line that they have with Cirelli, Hagel, and as well as Braden Point. That line is just one that, you can come out there, bring that line out, and get some success with it. But the top lines are rolling here in this game, and I hope that we do see a Canada-US game once again in the finals, and I will get to that in a moment. But Brad Marchand, once again, fourth liner, not getting too much action here in this game, but we got to go back into this whole game as a total. Now, looking at Charlie McAvoy, getting back to him for a second, this headline here, this stat, with 2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second period, this is where we really saw Charlie McAvoy shine in this game. He was focusing on the top players. He was keeping the defense locked down, and we know that being able to do that against a Canada team as stacked as it is, and, vice versa, against a U.S. team as stacked as it is, no matter who you are, no matter the defenseman, is a serious feat to take on. But in this case, Crosby and McDavid, those hits that McAvoy had, and as you probably saw from just that screenshot a minute ago, this one here, he was putting his body on the line. He was taking these guys out of the play, and that was ultimately what led to the success of this U.S. team in this game, and ultimately as well, not great goaltending from Jordan Binnington, as, I don't want to say as usual, but as usual. But when we go down to, these small kind of plays here, ultimately now it's not a small play, but what could have resulted from this could have been a goal, and Charlie McAvoy taking them out of the play was a serious tone setter. And you saw Brady Tkachuk say that on the bench when the U.S. went down and scored, that Charlie McAvoy started that play. Charlie McAvoy was really setting the tone in this game, and you see here, this is halfway through the first period, and after Connor McDavid scored that goal, going past Charlie McAvoy, no matter who it was, he would have gone past. McAvoy said, "Hey, I'll get one back on you," and then this hit ultimately really started setting the tone for the U.S., and not just the first period, the second and third also comes down to it. This game was a prime example of what the NHL needs to continue doing. I don't know how, and I've been seeing this a lot on Twitter as well, on X. How do you go and schedule an All-Star game after this tournament? You can't. You really can't. And when you're looking at this game, we see people actually caring. Unlike the NBA All-Star game when, we saw, well, I didn't even watch it, but people were saying that Chris Paul, Victor Wembanyama, both getting disqualified from a skills competition for cheating. Like, those players don't care about that All-Star game, and, let alone the game, the skills competition as well. And we're seeing this tournament now. We see people all over the sports world discussing this game. Now, this is what hockey needed. It really is what hockey needed, and as I mentioned, I don't know how you can come out here and schedule an All-Star game after this tournament. So I'm excited to see what kind of progresses out of this. But when we get back to it as well, Shukri Wrights also said this: if the Bruins Charlie McAvoy plays like this for the Bruins post-tournament, this will do the Bruins wonders in the final stretch. And kind of cutting back to what I said yesterday in that video, when you're looking at what we've been able to see in this Boston Bruins realm of players here in this tournament, this is going to give them a prime opportunity to learn from some of the top players around the NHL. Learn and take away something that they might find some success from. I'm assuming that teams are going to start doing this with Charlie McAvoy. They see taking Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby out of the play, what this did for this U.S. team. People are going to start to do it in the NHL. When you see Connor McDavid come down the wing, instead of playing the puck, instead of, trying to just force him outside, you're going to lay the body. And when we see things like this work at best levels, you're going to have to try it in the NHL level as well. And I think the Bruins need to do this with, Charlie McAvoy, Brad Marchand, taking away what he saw from this game. Although not playing too much, still taking away from it. Jeremy Swayman is on, not on the ice, not on the bench either. He's the third goalie for the U.S., but watching Connor Hellebuyck play, that's also going to be very good for him. And as a goalie myself, watching is a big part of learning as well. When you're seeing the play, when you're seeing someone live, watching them play at such an incredible level like Connor Hellebuyck did in this game against Canada, you can take things away from that and apply them to your own game. And same goes for Elias Lindholm. Although in the U.S. and in the Sweden-Finland game, didn't have too much success, was a -2 in that game, around 10 minutes time on ice. He has a lot of players around him, a lot of skilled players that could take things away from and, really work it into a regular season game and really work it into his game where he's not been playing great this season, but looking and watching at his teammates, these players that he's playing with, can certainly learn a few things from that. So, as Shukri said there, if we do see Charlie McAvoy come back to the Bruins roster with this type of attitude, this will cause a lot of problems for other teams playing the Boston Bruins if they want to go in and try and get a goal. And that's what I'm loving about this tournament so far, is the the way it's going to translate to the regular season. Excuse me. And as we kind of progress down this tournament as well, with the U.S. now locking up a spot in the finals, we're going to have to look at what's coming next. And when we're looking at the beginning 20 minutes like this, watching 20 minutes, this comes from Connor Ryan, of course, watching 20 minutes of hockey that included 3 fights in 9 seconds, a McDavid rush goal ultimately on Charlie McAvoy, Charlie McAvoy responding by trucking McDavid, and a terrible goal allowed by Jordan Binnington, and then, as a Canadian, free bird playing was not the most ideal thing to see on that game, but you got to respect it when this game is as insane as it was. But when you play at this level, like this, you're going to see these players, once again, translate this to their NHL level. They're not going to want to let this tournament go. And really, this is not going to be out of sight, out of mind as soon as the regular season starts. Players are going to remember this. Even those watching, maybe not even, playing, probably not making a team, watching this tournament, are going to show how much it matters to all of these players. But as I mentioned, the U.S. in the finals now. I believe everybody is tied up between Finland, Sweden, and Canada. So, tomorrow's games will matter immensely with how things progress, or who we see, I guess, in the finals as well. And hopefully, once again, as a Canadian, it is Canada versus U.S., but I'm sure even though U.S. fans probably don't want to play Canada again because of how tough of a matchup it could be, you got to want to see that game once again. Now, we probably won't see 3 fights in 9 seconds, but what a way to set the tone. What a way to get things going. And I genuinely can't believe what we witnessed here in this game. And I cannot wait to see, hopefully, Canada versus U.S. Thursday night in the Garden. What a scene that will be. But I'll end this one off here with the picture of Charlie McAvoy leveling Connor McDavid here. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like, hit the sub button as well, and let me know what you think about this game. What was your reaction when you were watching it? I'll tell you, I was on the edge of my seat and standing up at times. This was an absolutely insane game, but hopefully we do see Canada-US. Let me know who you want to see in the finals against the U.S. here in the comments below as well, but that's all I got. If you did enjoy it, give it a like, hit the sub button as well, but I'm signing up. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later, and that's a crazy hit. Can't deny it. Good job, Charlie McAvoy.